A valley village, men in capes, a magic school, and a naked doctor who burnt his son on a pyre. And what does this house have to do with it? This episode of Weird Wales. On a quiet street in Treforest sit the Roundhouses. Not that quiet, there's a lot of dog walkers to be honest. Normal houses now, one you could probably get for a small £250,000. Back when they were built though, 150 years ago in the late 1800s, they were to serve a much different purpose. You know Hogwarts, the magic school where kids get murdered pretty constantly? Well, this was something similar. They were meant to be the gateways to a Druidic college and a museum of Welsh Druid life. People from around the British Empire would flock to the college and learn how to be good Druids and of the history of Welsh Druidism. The Roundhouses now, though, are the only buildings ever constructed for this college. Who built them? And why did they stop with just the houses? Well, that's the story of one of Wales's, and actually Britain's, most mental pioneers. Dr. William Price was a Welsh nationalist, a well-regarded member of the Royal College of Surgeons, and a working-class hero. A proud supporter of the Chartist movement, believing all men should have the right to vote, Price allegedly supplied weapons to the 1839 Newport Rising, the last large-scale armed rising in Wales. We'll see what happens in the future. With a large number of revolutionaries killed, executed by the state, or transported to places like Australia, Price fled to Paris, where during a visit to the Louvre, Price claimed to have received a vision.
William!
Yes, it is I. What do you want of me?
You need to become a wizard.
But why?
It's for Wales.
Okay, if it's for Wales.
You need to be naked too. Fully naked.
Interpreting a Greek stone as a message from an ancient Welsh prince, Price believed he was the Mab Darogan, a legendary figure that would liberate the Welsh people, in his view the true Britons, from the Anglo-Saxons and bring about the restoration of ancient pagan beliefs in Wales, that of Druidism. He soon returned to Wales to set up a Druids group, gaining a number of followers. The doctor began carrying a staff engraved with figures and letters, wearing a fox fur hat, emerald green clothing, and grew his beard long.
Mr. Stark?
He began to hold Druidic events, including an Eisteddfod in Pontypridd in 1844, though no one turned up. Price was also a nudist, a believer in free love, and used to scandalise the people of Victorian Llantrisant by taking long walks in nature, completely naked. He became involved with a young farmer's daughter called Glyntaff Roundhouses, and they married in a Druidic ceremony in 1881, when she was just 21 years old, and he was only a little bit older than her, at 81. She gave birth to a son in 1883, who Dr. Price named Jesu Christ, after Jesus Christ. He expected a lot of really great things from the child, but he died 5 months later. Dr. Price decided to cremate his son, believing it was wrong to bury a body according to his Druidic beliefs. But this was seen as a bit of a taboo act at the time. On January 13th, 1884, Dr. Price attempted to cremate his son on the summit of a Llantrisant hilltop, but he had to be rescued from an angry mob by the police and was then arrested for the illegal disposal of a corpse. He was eventually cleared of the child's murder after a post-mortem concluded he had died of natural causes, but was still sent to court to face charges of cremation. This was too much, even for his generally tolerant neighbours, who genuinely thought that he had burnt the child alive on the pyre. Angry crowds surrounded his house, to which he responded, very rationally, by threatening them while wielding 2 pistols, one in each hand. His mistress was behind him, holding a shotgun. During the eventual trial, Dr. Price was arrested and charged in Cardiff with the illegal disposal of a body. During the trial in Cardiff, Dr. Price argued the law did not state that cremation was illegal, which was actually agreed upon by the judge, who released William Price. Dr. Price then proceeded to complete the cremation of his son later on in March. This case helped pave the way for the first official cremation in 1885 and the passing into law of the Cremation Act in 1902. The Roundhouses, though, the intended Druidic college of William Price, were never finished for 2 quite small reasons, really. He didn't have the money, and he never actually owned the land. When the authorities discovered this, the project was halted permanently.
I'm shutting your butt down.
Nearby to the houses, though, are another interesting part of Pontypridd's Druidic past. The Rocking Stone is a glacial boulder on Pontycommon, remaining from the last ice age. In 1814, Druidic revivalist and bard Iolo Morgannwg used the stone as the central point for a gorsedd, or a gathering of the Welsh bards, something still thriving in Wales today, as a society for Welsh language poets, writers, musicians and others. The gorsedd circle of smaller stones surrounding the Rocking Stone was later constructed in 1849 by Evan Davis. Author Jan Morris says of Price, "He haunted the great Rocking Stone, which still stands on the hillside above Pontypridd, often addressing meetings from its slightly tremulous surface." It was also here that Price married Gwenllian Llywelyn in a typical Druidic ceremony, complete with staffs, chants, the occasional nudist. Even now, some say you can still feel the energy. Oh, yeah, better not. Nearby the rocks, you can see the historic view of the forest. Well, if you get closer, you can see... still blocked. Going to the War Memorial, you get a much better view of Pontypridd and the forest. Yeah, look at that. Not a tree in sight. Not far from the Rocking Stone, you have one of the oldest pubs in Pontypridd, the Llanover Arms, which has barely changed its deco in over 200 years. Prices have gone up a bit, but I'm a true historian, and I believe in sampling local heritage.
Bloody place.